And this right here, my party people, is our first word problem of the day. Now, help me out, everybody. The first thing we do with any word problem, regardless of whether it's percentages or distance, rate, time, we're always going to read the question first. First thing I always do, read the question first. And it's not reading the entire problem. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying start here. What is the problem asking you to do? What is your goal? So here it says, determine the volume of concentrated cider. Okay, sounds good. We want to know the volume of concentrated cider. Now, don't freak out. This is not a volume geometry problem. It's not. It's a percentage question. And let's understand the situation here. It says, in a chef's drink recipe, 35% of a 200 milliliter beverage is concentrated apple cider. So we want to know the amount of concentrated apple cider. Now, take a look at what we read here. Let me highlight this. 35% of a 200 milliliter beverage is concentrated apple cider. Let me translate that purple here into some math. 35% of turns into multiplication, 200 milliliters is turns into equals concentrated apple cider. So I'll go ahead and just write concentrated cider. My party people, when we take a look at this problem and the way that I laid it all out, are we working forward or backwards here? Are we multiplying to get our answer or dividing to get our answer here? Yeah, in this case, we are working forwards because remember, everybody, our formula, the percent times the original equals the results. Help me out, everybody, in the chat box. Which of these, the percent, the original, or the result, which of these do we not have? Which of these do we not have? Yeah, we don't have the result. So with that said, everybody, because we don't have the result, how do we get the result? Through multiplication or division. That's through multiplication all day because the result is the percent times the original. So hopefully that makes a little more sense there, everybody. And with that said, let's move forward here and perform the calculation. So before we mess with the operations, we got to turn that percentage into a decimal. So we're going to move that decimal twice to the left. Let's make sure we do that. Let me zoom on in a little bit here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that decimal, 1, 2, and now I have 0.35 multiplied by 200, and that's going to get me my concentrated cider. So from here, let's go ahead and perform that multiplication. Here we go. We have 200. Let me find some room here. I'll go ahead and do it right here. 200 multiplied by 0.35. And let's get to work. So 0 times 5, that's going to give us 0. 0 times 5, that's going to give us 0. And then 2 times 5, that's going to give us 10. So we have that set up so far. And now let's move over here to our next line. And that's going to cover the 3. So here we are. 0 times 3, that's going to be, well, let's write that first 0 first. Let's not make that mistake, right? 3 times 0, 3 times 0, and then 2 times 3, and that's going to be 6. So with that, my friends, we add everything up at the end. 0, 0, 0, and 7. Now the answer is 7,000? Yeah, it's not. We have to make sure we bring the decimals back at the end when we multiply. Again, when we multiply. So here what we have is 1, 2 decimal places, none up here. So it's 2 times that we're bringing it back. And our correct answer here is 70 milliliters as our concentrated cider. And there it is. The correct answer for this problem, the first one of the day, is 70 milliliters. My party people, Are we feeling okay about this one? Who here is starting to remember that they may have seen a question very similar to this on their test, and they're sitting here like, yep, those are points I can get. Those are points I can definitely get. Good. That's what I want you to be proud of. Like, I want you to be excited about being able to succeed in these circumstances. That's really what it's all about. So, with that, let's go ahead and give another problem a shot. So, with that, everybody, would you guys like to try it on a timer? You by yourself? Good. Let's go ahead and give it a shot here. If you're watching this as a recording, do yourself a favor, set a 2.5 minute timer, and give it a shot.